Apple just announced its iOS 15, iPadOS, and tvOS 15, watchOS 8, macOS 12, Monterey, and a lot more at this year's WWDC. In today's video, I'm going to tell you the most important things that happened at the event. But before we get started, don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoy Apple events and this type of videos, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. So starting off, the first thing that Apple talked about was iOS 15, and they started with FaceTime. They said that they're trying to make FaceTime more natural, comfortable, and lifelike, so they are now including spatial audio to FaceTime. They also give us a grid view, so it's more similar to other video calls services that we have right now. You will also have the option to use portrait mode on FaceTime, but the most exciting feature is that you now have the option to share your screen. So you can watch movies with your friends, you can listen to the same music with your friends, you can share your actual screen. So let's say you're helping a friend change a few settings on your iPhone, you will be able to share the settings screen with this friend. And you also have the option to schedule calls on the calendar, share links, and it's a lot more similar to a video call software, so it's definitely more complete right now. Now, talking about the Messages app, I confess that I was waiting to see new animations and things like that. It's fine, we don't have any new animations, but we have new ways to share content. So for example, if you have a group chat and you like to send a lot of photos, or your friend likes to send a lot of photos, whenever a bunch of photos are sent at the same time, you will receive them as kind of like a collage. Then if you receive links or videos on the group chat, you will also have easy access to these videos or links in several applications. So for example, if a friend sends you an article and you open the Apple News application, you will have a new kind of like a new tab saying shared with you, and all of the links that your friends shared with you are going to be right there. So even if you were not at the group chat in the group chat at that time, you will have access to these links in a very easy place later on. Same thing on the Photos app. So if a friend shares a bunch of photos with you, you will have access to all of these photos inside the Photo app. So it's definitely an easier way for you to have access to all the shared media that you received. Now, if there's something that I really enjoyed about this year's WWDC, is this new feature that I'm going to share right now. Focus. Apple really focused on productivity, and I love to talk about productivity. I love to schedule my week and my days and see what I can do to organize my day better. So I really enjoyed these new features. So you know that you now have the option to just turn on and turn off Do Not Disturb, right? On iOS 15, you will have customizable options for Do Not Disturb. So you'll have the option to enable Do Not Disturb, or you can choose a personal Do Not Disturb. So every time that you are not working, you can stop receiving everything related to work, for example. Or if you are working, you can enable the focus mode for work, and you will not receive any notifications unrelated to work. Same thing for sleep, and your iPhone will also suggest to turn on focus if you need to. So let's say you work out at the same time every day, you may start receiving a notification asking if you want to turn on fitness when you arrive at your gym location, for example, and then you have the focus mode on and you won't receive any notifications that may take you out of focus, for example. So I'm really excited to test this new feature. I feel like I'm going to be using it a lot. And something nice about it is that whenever you turn it on, your friends will receive a notification if they try to send you a message. They will receive kind of like a tiny message at the bottom of the Messages app, letting them know that you have this feature on. So Very convenient. I feel like I'm gonna use it every single day. They also showed the spotlight. You will now have the option to browse for photos. You will also have a new memories feature that will allow you to create kind of like short videos using Apple Music. So you have the option to choose a track that you like, and then your iPhone will create in short video using this music for you with your memories. And Apple also talked about the Wallet app. So now you will have the option to unlock your front door depending on which smart lock you have. But one of the most interesting new features, in my opinion, is that you will now have your ID on the Wallet app. So I'm definitely curious to see how this is going to work. I'm excited to test it. And if you have cards, if you need cards to get inside specific buildings, so let's say that you need a card to enter your office at your work, or you're traveling and you have the card for your hotel room, you will also have the option to add these cards to the Wallet app. So again, you won't need to use physical cards. You have everything on your iPhone with easy access. Apple also talked about improvements for the weather app. You will have access to more information now regarding precipitation, clouds, sun positionings, UV, wind, barometric pressure, and a lot more information regarding weather. And they also added a lot of new features for the maps. So the new maps will be coming to Spain and Portugal today, in Australia and Italy later in 2021. But now you basically have a new zoomed out globe view. There are a few cities in particular that have a new 3D look with elevation, custom design points of interest. So you will, for example, know important buildings in a particular city, for example. You will be able to know, oh, that's the Golden Bridge and things like that. You will also have more detailed directions. You will see crosswalks. So it will be a lot better for drivers. You will definitely have more information available to you. Then Apple also talked about a few new features for the AirPods. One of them is called Conversation Boost. So this new feature will help you focus on the person that is talking to you, so the person that you're looking at. So let's say that I'm wearing my AirPods and I'm currently talking to you. I will be able to listen you a lot better than the other people talking around us. So this is a very nice feature. And right now, with Find My, it will be easier to find your AirPods Pro or your AirPods Max. So you will have a feature of proximity, so you will be able to look for your AirPods in a similar way as the AirTags. And you will also receive an alert if by any chance you leave your AirPods behind. So let's say that you are in a coffee shop and you forgot your AirPods. You just left and forgot your AirPods on the table. You should receive a notification on your iPhone letting you know that you forgot your AirPods. So that way you can come back and take it. And now let's talk about iPadOS. So the first thing that they talked about is widgets, and I feel like it took a little bit longer for Apple to release this. They should have released it last year with iOS 14, but it's okay. I'm glad it's finally here. But you now have the option to add widgets to the home screen of your iPad. Apple also talked about multitasking, and there are improvements for multitasking, and you have the option to go full screen, split view, or slide over. And in split view, you can just swipe down to replace any of the applications that you would like to use. And you also have the option, for example, to use the email on one side and the notes on the other side. And when you tap to reply an email, for example, this new tab will pop up in the middle. So you won't be taken to a completely new tab. So it's more intuitive. In the Notes app, you will have more options to collaborate. So if you share your note with other people from your team, for example, you will have the option to mention team members inside this note and make comments. So it's kind of similar to the Google Docs collaboration features that we have right now. And also, there is something called Quick Note, which allows you to quickly write a note on your iPad. So if you use your Apple Pencil, you can simply swipe up from the bottom right of the display and a small note will appear at the bottom, and then you can quickly write down something that you need. So for example, if I'm on the phone and need to quickly write down a phone number, I could simply swipe up, write down the phone number, and that's it. So quick note. After iPadOS, Apple talked about security, which is something that we are all worried about, and they released some new features for iCloud. So you now have the option to recover your iCloud password more easily in case you need to. You will also have the option to add legacy contacts. So it says here, choose someone you trust to have access to the data in your account after your death. So of course, this is not a happy subject, but it's an important feature for us to have. And then Apple also talked about iCloud Plus, which combines iCloud with some new features like private relay, which allows you to browse on Safari in an even more private way. They also allow you to hide your email, so whenever you are creating a new account on a new service, for example, you will have the option to hide your email. Apple also shared a lot of new features for the Health app, and one of the features that I liked the most was the one that will allow you to share data with your doctor. So if you want to, for example, share your heart rate with your doctor, you will be able to share all of this data with the doctor. And something really convenient for those that take care of your loved ones is that you will now have the option to share your health data with other users. So for example, if you take care of your mom and dad, you will have the option to ask them to share their data with you, and you will have access to their data on your iPhone. Same thing for your kids. You can have their data on your iPhone, so you can keep track of how they're feeling, if they're doing well, if they're not doing well, so you can take a close look and pay attention to their health. In talking about watchOS, you will now have more mindfulness options, so kind of like new meditation options, 2 new workout types, Tai Chi and Pilates, and new Photos watch face. So if you are used to using photo watch faces, and now you have new options with different fonts. With watchOS 8, you will also have the option to share new photos through your Apple Watch and even reply to messages using GIFs. So this is something new in watchOS 8. Apple also talked about the HomeKit at the WWDC, and one of the most interesting features is that you now have the option to use voice commands to enable Siri. So if you want to ask Siri to play a movie or a TV show, you will have the option to ask her to do that. And Siri will be compatible with third-party devices. So on at the WWDC, they show the Ecobee thermostat, and Siri is now available on the Ecobee. So it will definitely be very interesting to see which devices are going to be Siri compatible, because you will have the option to choose to use voice commands or your iPhone, iPad to control these devices. Then we move on to macOS 12, and macOS 12 is going to be called macOS Monterey. I'm really happy with this name. I thought it was really chic, and Apple focused on the Safari. So they talked about a few features, but they really did focus on Safari. And right now, the tabs were moved towards the top of the display. So they're going to be right next to the search bar and not at the bottom anymore. You will also have the option to group your tabs in specific folders. So let's say you are researching about a trip to LA, you will have the option to group all of the tabs that are related to this trip inside a folder. For that, you can also save all of your recipes in a particular folder. You can also save all of the example that they use is if you're looking for a gift to your mom, you can save all of the tabs regarding this gift inside of that tab as well. Something interesting about it is that you will also have the option to share a particular folder. So if you are planning this trip to LA, you will have the option to share the full folder with your friends or your contacts, whoever you're trying to travel with. Same thing will happen for Safari for the iPad and iPhone. So this will definitely be more pleasurable visually because you'll have more room on the display for whatever you're looking at or reading on your iPhone, iPad, or Mac. And then Apple also talked about the developer technologies. They mentioned new APIs, Swift features, and new App Store features. So Swift is definitely more intuitive right now. They also mentioned new features on the App Store for developers. So developers will have the options to reach more users, and you will be able to create different app pages for different types of users. So this is something really important for developers. And they closed the WWDC with the Xcode Cloud. So now developers will have better and more options to share their applications with their team members in order to test it and to approve it. So after you build an application, you will have more options to share to iPhone, iPad, or Mac. Then you will also have the option to share with all of your team members. And after this particular application is done, you will be able to send it immediately to Apple for approval. And these were the most important releases at the WWDC 2021. Please let me know down below in the comments what was your favorite release. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.